right, you receive your board. It's in two pieces, in two boxes, but let's put it together. Let me walk you through. All right, so this is what we got. You have received your board in this condition. It has the dampening system already installed. It has dampening system already installed in the back. It's already pre-programmed, so no programming will be needed. We have this number on the side. That is the code for your meter module. Please write it down somewhere and do not lose it, because I don't keep it, only you. So you have another box with the back truck, back hanger, front hanger, spare tire. You have the skin pins. You receive the hot puck, some pieces of shrink wrap. These ones are for the lights. These ones are for the motor wires. Some zip ties, 4 inches small ones, a couple of arrows, and some flathead screws. Besides that, you have the big bulky charger. We have the dampers, and we have the dot screws. So to put all this together, let's start by flipping the board. Oh, wait a second, before that, these are the tools you're gonna need. 5mm heads key, 4mm heads, 3mm heads. If you have drill bits that you could install on your drill, will be way better. If not, use this. Or you could use T-tools if you have T-tools. We're gonna use also a skate tool and a hair dryer or a heat gun, any one of those. Now, your board must have come with a light installed or not. If it didn't come with a light installed, we had 2 small screws. You're gonna see it, the 4mm screws, and the light is pretty straightforward to install on the back. All right, so let me flip this board, and then we're gonna go of how we're gonna do it. So let me flip this monster. You're gonna need some room on the table, and you're gonna need something to lift the board up. I'll show you why. So first, let's turn this guy. It's heavy, so get somebody to help you. If not, I know you are a big guy, so you can just flip it. Let's start by the front hanger. So this is the front hanger. Come over here so we could do an overview. The most important thing is that this is the front of the hanger where the lights are facing, and this is the back. We have some bushings. Make sure that you have them all, and we have some tracks for the dampers. So how we're gonna do this? We're gonna take the clear dampers, and we're gonna take 2 of these screws, put it here. So the screws are gonna go through the bottom, 1 of each side, but we're first gonna install the dampers. So they have an angle, and the metal piece has to go into the track here. It's a tight fit. Just put it there. Make sure the metal piece goes all the way down to the bottom, and that they are straight. Same thing with this guy. All the way down. Now we want to rotate and make sure that these 2 don't fall. So you can just put your fingers and hold it there. Now we're gonna look inside here to make sure that the holes are aligned. Same thing in the other one. And now we're gonna use this dog screw. So these are the dog screw right here. If they're not aligned, just wiggle it just a tiny bit in order to make it fit. There. And just screw them in. Now apply some pressure to the barrel on the other side so they go inside the barrels. I'll show you right now. So this is what we want. So you could see underneath there, there's an air gap. We don't want an air gap in there. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah, it's there. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna unscrew the damper, this once or twice, so the metal piece go flush with the hanger. Now they flush with the hanger. So that's what we need. Now we're gonna take it to the front. I'm gonna rotate it upside down. Now we're gonna make sure that the bushings align right here. And we're just gonna slide this. So you could tell that I kind of go lower because the wheels are too high. So since the wheels are too high, kind of go lower. So I need to lift up the board and put something underneath just to make some space for the tires. Some space for the tires. There we are. So now we are in position. We're gonna put the keypin. The keypin uses this K tool and a 5mm head key. We want to make sure we go through the front, align the bushings. So now the bushings should be properly aligned. So we want to rotate this guy. Just rotate it. Can you see what I'm doing over there? No. So you need to rotate it. I'm using my drill because it's just way easier. If you don't have a drill, then use the regular head key just to screw it in. They just rotate it all the way. Now we're gonna tighten the nut. For the nut, get close here, please. For the nut, we're gonna use the retaining mechanism of the nut to hold it in place, so there's no need to over tighten it. So with your 5mm head key from the front and your K tool on the back, just tighten over there. Boom. That's it. No super crazy. Now you can see that we are ready with the bushings installed. Now what you want to do is give it 1 or 2 turns. Where did I put this in the back? 1 second, stay there. So you don't want these screws coming out. You want these screws actually like 2 or 3mm into the truck, into the hanger. 1, 2, just a few. There we are. So this will push the metal part of the damper up. Make sure it doesn't clear the track. Make sure it still stay in the track, even a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna use those pieces of shrink wrap, these 2 guys, for the lights. So just put your shrink wrap here. The lights, they are directional. They just can be installed in a certain way. You'll see it. Just don't force it. Make sure you install it the way they go. That's it. Now slide your shrink wrap all the way to the front. I see I have an extra set of thing, but yours should be good. So just put it there. Same thing. Make sure, don't move the camera that much. Stay 1 point. I'm gonna see, connect it, slide the shrink wrap, and once you're good there, just use your gun in order to shrink wrap. And make sure your shrink wrap goes all the way to the bottom, so it's really sealing tight. Just use it there, and use it here. Well, basically that was just the front truck. That is finishing the front truck. Now let's go to the back truck. For the back truck, we are basically gonna do the same thing. Again, we're gonna install the dampers the bushings, how we're gonna call this, the E-blocks, whatever. We're gonna put them here and there in the same manner. So hold this, Angel, and let's do this. So for the back, we have two options. We have the greens. All of you must receive 4 greens and 4 clears. So something that I've been seeing, this is the original design. You can use them just like that. Some of my guys have been giving me feedback that they've been drilling some holes into them to personalize it to the feel they like. Make sure you install them first like this to see how you like it. And if you think you need more softness in the back, then you could drill a hole. Now, to drill a hole, you gotta be careful. Let me show you this guy. So we're gonna look into the clear one. You can notice that we have a little bit of air. So we need that space not to be penetrated. That little bit of air, we need it there. So we're gonna drill all the way up to 1, 2, the 3rd step. Preferably with a 10mm drill bit. We're gonna penetrate just 3. And then you're gonna keep something like this, see? So, but make sure not to go below the 3rd because you're gonna damage this pocket and we need it. So just 1, 2, 3. 3mm deep. All right, in this case, we're gonna install the ones with the holes because we need to test them out. Same thing as before. Install it in this here. Make sure that the angle, the lower side is pointing inwards. Same thing here. Make sure that the metal pieces are flat. As you can see there, see, it's a flat against the metal. We can put it sideways, we can rotate it because they're gonna stay since the fit is pretty tight. Then we need to make sure that the holes align both. If they don't align, like this one at the bottom, just use your head tool to make it align, and that's it. So once that is done, just use your tool to get this guy in. Make sure to hold the E-block on the other side and put some pressure in order to put the screw in. Just hold it there. Do not keep tightening because we need the metal to be flush with the other metal. So same thing here. All right, so now you can see we're there. So now we're gonna put this upside down on the back truck. Just hold it like this. Oh, again, just take, you need to raise the back side. So I'm using this, you can use whatever you have at hand just to rotate it. So we're just gonna slide and make sure that this guy is kind of flat. So we're gonna take this guy upside down. Since we have everything upside down, make sure you don't cut your fingers because remember, these motors are heavy, and if this thing rotate, don't let your fingers get cut. That's all I'm saying. So make sure that this thing is properly aligned. Oh, the fit's gonna be a little bit tight. Oh, I know what's happening. Give me a second. On this one, I forgot to screw. So if you get a bushing, you see this bushing here? So this is the bushing towards the back. Yours are already cut, but this bushing right here, I don't know if you can see. Let me turn this to the light. It needs to be cut flush. Flush. That little piece of plastic needs to go. Hold this. For that, you can use any blade that you have at hand. That kind of just cut some plastic. It's not too big, so we just slide it, and that's it. Just in the case that you have that, but mostly I don't think I have it. So upside down, hold the motors, make sure the thing don't rotate and cut your fingers. Align the bushings and just rest it on the barrels, on the dampers. So now we're gonna put this guy in there. Make sure it goes in. And we just need to push in. Just wiggle a little bit this big piece and push it in. It should go all the way in. We're gonna use the nut for the kingpin. We have I'm using a T-tool, 5mm T-tool. It's a head tool and this K-tool. Just get in there. As you can see, boom. So now, again, what we got? We got these two guys that need to be like 2mm or 3mm under the end of the hanger. There we are. Sure to wiggle it a little bit. Okay. So basically now we need to shrink wrap the light. Just slide it to the side. Use a piece of shrink wrap and just connect it. You can't go wrong because that's simple. Just use the tooth gun in order to tighten this guy. That's it. Now your motors, this one don't have it, but your motors, the one you received, they're gonna have some tape on the motors connectors, and you're gonna have some tape on the motors connectors coming out the board. So make sure you plug in each one to the corresponding mark on the motors connector. Just plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. And plug in the sensor wires. These sensor wires are the sensor connector pulleys for that are pretty. These are mini B. As you can see, there is a little nipple inside that is an aligning tool. You can see it on the side wall. And then you have the pins. Now if you come here, you got the same thing. We have the notch and then we have the pin. So we need to align the notch with the locking mechanism. The best way is to do it visually there. You align those two and then just make sure you push in and it's done. So same thing with this guy. Remember, your motor wires will have marks on them and the corresponding motor wires coming out from the board will have same marks. So just align it the way they mark together and put your sensor wires afterwards. So this is this, this is this. Again, remember to look for the notch and to align this cable. Back up a little bit. All right. So now what do we have? We have some wires hanging out from the back. So before we do anything else, you need to turn on the board and test with the remote that things are working. This one I'm not gonna test it because I haven't programmed it to program it. But you need to turn on your remote and turn on your board on the side. Here, long press. Give me a second. So your remote's already paired to your board. If not, you're gonna press power, R and M button together. Once the green lights come on, it's in pairing mode, and now you're gonna turn on your board. Your servos are gonna sound, and your remote's gonna be already connected. So give it a full throttle and full brakes to reverse. Make sure everything is working. Once everything is working, then we're gonna put the shrink wrap on the motors. All right, so this is off. These are gonna put off. Yeah, you make sure that everything works, and that's good. Now, shrink wrapping. We're gonna take it one by one and use the shrink wrap. See, you're gonna unplug one, use the shrink wrap there, and plug it back again. Do not unplug them all at the same time, since then we're gonna have to go through the whole reprogramming, and that's no good. Unplug one and put the shrink wrap. Unplug again and use the shrink wrap. So make sure that your next step, you see, even if they come off, do not allow the wires to get mixed up. Never a good idea, because then we need to reprogram and everything is programmed correctly. All right, so here all you need to do is use your heat gun and, you know, shrink wrap those wires. Now we need to fix these wires to make it look nice. What we're going to do is we're going to pull the wires all the way out. First, I want you to see this. You see that notch over there? Can you see it? Give me a second. No, I think you can see it. So the hanger, the top of the hanger has a notch. It is that thin over there. See? So that is for the twist tie, in order to use it to tie up the wires. So Ernesto wire management system. So what we do, we put this through there. You see? Put it through there and use it to tie up things. Okay, so grab my thing over there. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull the wires this way. Make sure they fit properly. They're nice and neat in there. We're gonna take the tie wrap and we're gonna kind of tighten it a little bit. Make sure they align properly. What can I say? You could just tie it up over there, and then you could use another tie to tie it up here. That way, we just want to make sure we have all these wires tied up properly. And that's it. Same thing for the other one. Remember, shrink wrap all of them. And then align this. Now you're gonna have this cable now in the way, but this is a cable for the light. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna use a twist, a tie wrap, put it through the little hole. I know it's hard to see in that camera, but that's what we got. Just bring it up, collect all your wires, put it there. Make sure you have all your wires together, get everything nice and neat, and just tie it up a little bit. Now that wire for the lights, we want to put them together, or we could put it on the side. Don't worry, the wires, nothing's gonna happen to it. If you want to put it together, just put it up and put another zip tie over here. So basically, we got these guys. These are the flathead screws that you receive. You should have 4 of them. So now, where do these flathead screws go? They go right here. Remember that we have that anchor plate inside that goes there. You can see it, the metal piece inside there, that one that is moving now. So we're gonna put the screws there, and later on we need to put a little bit of Loctite in there. We're gonna use blue Loctite, and not a lot, but just a little bit. So hold this. In my case, the best way to do it is just to use small drop in here, and go here. See? My camera guy, he wants to see, he don't want me to see, because he needs to see. You could use your chest to apply some pressure to the tires. And there, just put a little bit of Loctite. Now a little bit of Loctite too. This is a 3mm hex. Again, just get it in there. And now apply pressure until you see it. Just rotate it a bit until you see it get it where it needs to go. They're gonna align. Once you align one, you have half of the job done. Do not overput, just put a tiny bit of Loctite. We don't need that much in these things. Because later, once we need to take it out, it's gonna be a pain in the ass if you got some too much. So just screw it up over there. Screw it in, sorry for that. Screw it in. There you wanna go. And now apply some pressure. Now apply enough pressure to hold it in place, firm. But remember, do not overdo it, because if you strip these guys, it's gonna be hell to take them out. So apply pressure. Once they firm, they should be okay, all right? So let's go to the front truck. So again, take your, take this guy, something to lift up because you're gonna need it. Again, a bit of Loctite, just a bit, enough just to hold it. A bit of Loctite in the thread. Bit of Loctite in the thread. Now with 3mm heads, a bit of Loctite, just a tiny bit, you can see. Now go in there, make sure that you wiggle the hanger as needed in order to get the thread going in. This one I kind of overdo it with the Loctite, but it's all right. But I prefer not to have enough, to have just a little bit. Okay, just go in and now tighten both of them. Make sure to go firm, not to go crazy that you will damage the head ski. You want to go firm, just firm. There, just firm. And now your back board is done. All you need to do is to put down, cut the excess plastic from the tires. Get this part over there. Oh God, what was that? And put it on, take it for a spin, and let me know how it goes. Oh!